I'll finish dinner later. Hello, and it's been a couple weeks. Welcome to Fusion Reaction for March 13th, 19th. Just feels like Friday the 13th. And tonight I'm catching up with stuff I didn't do in the last one. Things have been a little crazy, and I'll explain that in a second. So here's our schedule for today. It might be a long one, but let's try to plow through it and go. And I can't see if anyone is online because that's not up on the screen at the moment. So I'll just pretend like you're there and believe in my heart that you're not. So COVID-19, right? I don't want to make light of it. So I hope you and yours are safe and well and pulling through this without difficulty. I am, my children are in high school. One's 15, one's 17 years old. They are both home from school. Our schools have been canceled. My wife is a teacher for elementary school, and her school has been canceled. When I say canceled, they've been moved to online learning, and I'm retired, so we were all here in the house. Normally I do this when the house is quiet, but there is no such thing as a quiet time now in my house, as you can probably hear from the sounds of dishes being cleaned out in the other room. I my commentary on this, if anything meaningful, is that when I was a kid, probably in junior high school, I remember reading and studying about the 1918 Spanish flu. And I remember thinking, and that would have been in 1977, maybe? We'll say it was 1977. And I remember thinking at the time that that was impossible to happen again, because we lived in a modern age of science and advanced medicine, and I thought, the world we were living in 1977 was like a science fiction world compared to 1918, and it was. And the world we live in today is like a science fiction world compared to 1977. And yet here we are. No resistance, pandemic spreading across the planet. And we just have to wait for luck, for it to burn out, for us to get vaccines, for medical science to catch up. It's kind of dark, but yeah, mankind will pull through. And in the meantime, we're going to try to keep it a little light, unlike that. But we'll try to do some more stuff online while everybody's stuck at home, sequestering themselves, and hunkering down for safety. So that's where we are. I do nonprofit work for summer camp, and we had to cancel, even though it's 14, 15 weeks away. But it just it's terrible, but it also puts a lot of more time on my hands. So that could be good or that could be bad. Depends on your point of view. A couple of things I wanted to point out. Fusion Patrol. There's a Fusion Patrol Classics YouTube channel, which I admit I'm not using YouTube right there. I am posting audio podcasts on the Fusion Patrol Classics channel. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to some of our old podcasts, they are being given new life and being posted there in blocks by series instead of as we do them on the show. And I have recently started outputting the TV series from the 1980s, Otherworld, about a family who go through a pyramid, because pyramid power was big in the 80s, and get transported to another world where they have to try to search through different zones and strange worlds to try to find a way back to their own home on Earth. And that one, David and I did that series, and they are so bad that we did 2 episodes per podcast just to try to flesh them out to an hour. And those are posted, and they're being released automatically every 5 days until they run out. And then after that, it's going to be Fantastic Journey, which was a 1970s show with basically the exact same premise. A bunch of people are trapped in the Bermuda Triangle because in the 1970s, the Bermuda Triangle was a big thing, and they get transported to a strange world that's segmented up in various different zones, and they travel from zone to zone and zone with strange, wacky adventures as they try to find their way back to their home on Earth. And that one is Ben and I did that podcast. And those will be released starting right after Otherworld is done. And again, every 5 days until they run out. And before that happens, because it's like May, before that'll be all over, I will tell you what the next batch is going to be. Also, for those of you who are keeping track on the regular Fusion Patrol YouTube channel, right? So we got a YouTube channel for Fusion Patrol. We got a YouTube channel for Fusion Patrol Classics. I don't know what I'm pointing at. These are the subtitles that aren't here because I didn't prepare them. So Fusion Patrol Classics. And I've been doing The Prisoner, Big Finish Prisoner Adventures Reimagining. We've covered the first 2 box sets. And strangely enough, even though I'm at home and have more time on my hands, because of all this, I'm not getting out for my walks to go to lunch every day, and so I don't get my podcast and audiobook listening time. So I'm actually having trouble getting through them. So they're not exactly postponed, but they're on hold. Well, they're on hold. They're not postponed. They're not on hold. They're just going to be slow. Another thing, we just recorded yesterday, day before yesterday, the final episode of Series 2 of Doomwatch. And Series 2 of Doomwatch, the entire series still exists. Series 3, quite a lot of them don't exist. In fact, I think only 3 of them exist, and one of them is an unaired episode called Sex and Violence. And so I'm thinking of maybe doing a series of short Doomwatch fill in the blanks. I've found some places where I can piece together what happened in the missing Doomwatch episodes, and maybe try to put together some synopses. I think it's synopses. Answer in the comment below. Synopsis, synopses. So the Doomwatch Fill in the Blanks program, I don't know whether we're going to be talking about it or just summarizing them, or I don't know. But that's coming up after, whenever I can get to it, which is hopefully in the near future, because there's a lot of episodes in Series 1. I think we'll go back and do those as well, just so that we can have a complete Doomwatch collection of some kind. Finally, Tokusatsu. Japanese special effects TV shows. If you are watching a Western country, United States in particular, you have probably heard of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is an abomination. Just going to say that right here. But it is based on a classic old Japanese style of kids programs. Let's not kid ourselves here. Tokusatsu, which means special effects. Basically, Godzilla films are technically tokusatsu as well. But these are things like Ultraman and Kamen Rider and Sentai shows. And because we're home, I've beefed up my online streaming services. I've got the Toku channel from Amazon Prime, and I've got the Crunchyroll channel from Crunchyroll. And there's also, I just posted it on our Facebook page. There's going to be the I forget what, Tokusatsu channel on Pluto TV, which that would be free. And there was also going to be a Tokusatsu channel on YouTube, which appears to be free. So hit our Facebook page and you'll see where those are going to be. If you're interested, I will tell you that they're a guilty pleasure for me. And I once had, oh, bragging rights here. I had the first and only English language Tokusatsu webpage back in the day called the Tokusatsu page, imaginatively enough. And that was very close to when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers started, because that's when it was kind of getting cool. I had a network of getting stuff in from Japan, and it was so I could watch these things, and I really enjoy them. Now it's kind of nice because now we're getting them streaming with subtitles, and you can actually figure out what's happening in them. And sometimes what's happening in them defies imagination. Defies imagination. So I want to talk about just one of them today. And not exactly recommending it, but it's called Denko Chojin Gridman, or Gridman, if you want to take it in English. It was one of the shows that was pilfered, and they tried to bring it over here as Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, and they absolutely butchered it, and that's saying a lot. But it's about an alien being that lives in a computer world, and a computer demon from this alternate reality that invades our computer networks in the 1990s, back when computer networks were run over modems and phone lines in Japan, and well, in most places, but in Japan in particular, because that's where it's set. And with the help of a maladjusted, complete, socially disturbed nerd type, the demon creature Kandejifer is setting up monster viruses, or kaiju, as it goes, and destroying various aspects of the digital world, whether that's automatically driving cars, or because they had those in Japan apparently back then, or microwave ovens, or music, or electronic synthesizers. It's a bizarre show. And then our three heroes, young people who are computer experts but poor and have cobbled together a computer, team up with Gridman, merge with him, and then do battle in exactly like an Ultraman style, except in the computers. And in fact, Gridman used to be my go-to nomenclature before Lone Locust for many years. I still use it actually in places. So if you ever see a Gridman, it might be me. So that is it for this edition. And I just finished watching. It's not on the list. It's not on the list. I just finished watching the episode of Picard that aired today. I think that was second to last. If not, it's third to last. So that's going to come to an end soon, and then we will talk about that as a whole. Slow going. It's been slow going. I will say that. I don't hate it, but it's been slow going. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Since I don't think there's anybody online. No, there is nobody online. I can see that now. Since there's no one online, if you're watching this, it's in replay, and we will be back live at some point in the fairly near future. Talk to you next time. Fusion Reaction.